Lea, you are an icon, and we know that you choose your projects very carefully. With Here Lies Love, you're not just performing, you really are producing, backing this Filipino story on Broadway. Why is that?
This feels like the answer is going to be multi-layered. Casting had not yet been completed when I came on board, but I was like, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I wonder if this could very well possibly be the first time that every single member of this company will be of Filipino descent. That every single role is going to be occupied by actual Filipino people. So we did not know at the time, but perhaps I was already manifesting. So I wanted to be a part of that moment. I wanted to be a part of the first all-Filipino cast on Broadway. And two, this is a very interesting way to present a history lesson. You know, there are going to be criticisms, obviously. Yes, there is pain. Yes, there is so much heartbreak. Yes, there is so much that there are people that have not had closure with regards to this particular part of history. But at the very end of the show, I mean, if everybody knows the EDSA Revolution, that's how the show ends. That is where the show ends. And it's at that moment when people feel hope. And I remember being 15 on my birthday, getting a phone call because I was having a party. It was my birthday. Getting the phone call, the kids have to go home now because tanks are rolling out. So I remember that. And then a few days later, the feeling of seeing all the news coverage of people crying, of nuns holding their rosaries out, of people holding flowers in front of tanks, and no one was killed. And we saw hope and joy. So why not celebrate that?
All Filipino cast, right? On this Filipino story on Broadway. We celebrate that. But on the other spectrum, people are saying, but it's white people telling our Filipino story. Hence, it's not Filipino and we don't want to support it. Why can't Filipinos tell our own stories? Why can't it be all Filipino?
Well, first of all, just an all-Filipino cast is a major step. And we do have quite a lot of the creative team, as well as assistants, associates, who are of Filipino descent. So all of us then are able to say, hang on, this is not authentic. Yes, our creator is white, but my God, the extent of the research that this man did in order to make this story and create it. And now we, as the company, get to grab it and it becomes ours. I get to play Aurora Aquino, who's Ninoy's mother. The funny thing is, here's a story behind that. Ken Kashiwahara is married to Ninoy's sister, Lupita, who's a film director and a producer and somebody that I actually know in the flesh. So he sent me a text when the news came out regarding my being part of the show. He's like, congratulations on Here Lies Love. You will be playing my mother-in-law. She would absolutely approve. And Ken accompanied Ninoy on that flight to Manila, the fated flight. So he was on the plane. So he was able to give me a lot of insight, information on what happened during those days, as well as what his mother-in-law was like. So I now have all of this precious stuff which aligned with the song. And it turns out that David, a lot of the lyrics, so much of it, especially God Draw Straight, is all directly lifted from, these are words from people who participated in the EDSA Revolution. So that tells me it's like, these are the words from the Filipino people. I'm putting a melody to it. So it's like,
it's written by Filipinos.
So yeah, the words culled from speeches of Ferdinand Marcos, Imelda Marcos, things that they had written, things that were recorded. So we're not pulling any of this out of the air. It's all being directly lifted from our words. This is our history set to music. And the disco part is a Trojan horse that it's supposed to pull you in. But once we have you in, we have a story to tell.